full autonomy of after school activities. They will not have to necessarily work through a county community use process. And we've really worked through some of the hours of operations to just make sure that it has sort of optimized for the city and the usage. And part of it is the agreement is also to give obviously preferential treatment and consideration to the city for summer camps and summer activities within the building. So taking advantage of the fact that there's a gymnasium, there's cafeteria, and to be able to provide that programming for city residents is going to be really important as part of the agreement and the shared amenities moving forward. Next slide, please. Some of the other aspects of the site are the connections within the site. What we heard and what we presented in the past is to make sure that the back of the house area, which are the softball, baseball fields, are usable during the school day. That is one of the things that, typically when you think about a school site, we really try to minimize who is on a site. So we've been able to design this in a way that it's very compact in terms of what is going to be used for the school, but it also allows opportunity for residents to be able to take advantage of that park, throughout the day as well. So certainly that was a critical part of the overall process. And again, from a last night perspective within the mayor and council meeting, MCPS staff did participate in that. There was lots of great questions from a lot of the council members around just an understanding of the agreement, what are the next steps, but also I think acknowledgement that this is a really good opportunity to provide a lot of different and well-rounded amenities to the city. So particularly a focus on obviously educating students, but giving opportunities to offset this loss of a small portion of the park in a way that's very meaningful, that gives the neighbors and the community a similar feel, transformation of an existing area. So that's really the presentation as a whole. Again, there's just some shared amenities elements that are part of the agreement, but in whole, this is something that is supported from the mayor and council, the city managers worked really hard to make sure that we've incorporated all of the asks that have been along the way, and again, from a 3-year process and many levels of communication, we're really happy to be able to get to this point and continue to move the project forward. So with that, I think we can open up to any questions board members may have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Adams. This is Mrs. Evans speaking. I will start with Ms. Wolf, and then I'll just go around the table.
I just wanted to know if you could talk a little bit about the community input that you got.
So this is Essie McGuire. I will just outline briefly, and then Mr. Adams can give any additional details. There have been many stages of input and design along this project. We've had conversations directly with the school community around the feasibility and design of the building aspects, and that's been true especially since the vision of the project has changed through the course of the project. And then, of course, we did also have the community process associated with the site selection process. And then, as Mr. Adams was mentioning, we've been, in addition to having board briefings, the briefings with the Gaithersburg City Council often very frequently included the opportunity for public comment and dialogue in those forums as well. And again, MCPS staff was very present and responsive in participating in those. So there have been a number of touch points along the way where there have been those elements of dialogue.
Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Mrs. O'Neill.
No questions, but please convey to the city of Gaithersburg our gratitude for their partnership and ability to work with us so collaboratively.
Absolutely. We agree and appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Mrs. O'Neill. Dr. Daka?
Yeah, thank you for your careful planning and for the shared amenities, because we did hear from the community, and perhaps the things that we're putting in there will make it a lot more accessible for them in the long run.
Thank you. Ms. Silvestre?
No questions. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Tinbite?
No questions. Thank you as well.
Dixon?
I just wanted to say thank you to Essie and Seth for your work on this, and also just to share with those listening in that the board did take a bus trip to the Kelley Park area, and I, share Dr. Daka's sentiments in terms of, what we've come up with just in terms of sharing. And I'm really thrilled that we'll be able to get this project moving along. The Gaithersburg Elementary School is really, really very large and with so many students. And so this is something that has long been needed, and I'm just thrilled that it's going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Mondrosky?
I'll just associate myself with the comments of my colleagues, particularly Ms. Dixon and Dr. Daka. I really do want to thank you, though. I know this isn't exactly what every person in the Gaithersburg community was hoping for, but I think it's something we really need, and I think it's going to be great. And I think that I just want you to know how much I appreciate the extra work that you put into looking at all different alternatives and working collaboratively with the city and the community to make this the best possible place that it can be. So thank you for all your work on that.
Thank you, Mrs. Mondrosky. And this is Mrs. Evans talking. I just want to also thank Ms. McGuire and Mr. Adams. As Ms. Dixon stated, we took that tour, and I can't thank you all enough for scheduling those tours for board members, because it really helps when it comes time for us to make decisions to have a visual. So I will to associate myself with my colleagues in thanking you for the work and for this presentation. And at this time, we need to move the green sheet on Gaithersburg Cluster Elementary School number 8. If I can get a motion.
Hi, this is Brenda Wolf. I want to move approval.
Judy Daka, second.
Okay. Been moved and seconded. And once again, Ms. Wolf?
Aye. Hello? Hello?
I got you. This is Rebecca.
Okay.
Aye.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded, and we already had an aye from Ms. Wolf. We'll go to Dr. Daka.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Wolf. Dr. Daka?
Aye.
Mrs. O'Neill?
Aye.
Ms. Silvestre?
Aye.
Mondrosky,
Aye.
Mr. Tinbite.
Aye.
I'm going to come back to Ms. Dixon. Maybe you said something, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, aye.
Okay, and then that's an aye from Ms. Evans, and that is unanimous.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.